Download the BCSN Plus app today. Visit bcsnnation.com for details.
But we also have got postseason underway in high school athletics. We'll begin with boys lacrosse as St. Francis taking on Walsh Jesuit. Regional semifinals. Knights trailing in the first. Parker Conlon gets St. Francis on the board. Micah Twig would tack on another goal 7 seconds later, so we're tied up at 2. In the second, though, Warriors take over. Grayson Zupansky finds Owen Palin wide open right by the goalie. Walsh back in front. They would open up a 6-goal lead under 2 to go in the half. Zupansky through 4 different nights. His 7th goal, or the 7th goal in the second quarter for Walsh Jesuit, as the Knights fall 14-4. St. Francis season coming to an end in the regional semifinals.
Yeah, I'd say Walsh is probably one of the best teams we've played all year. Unfortunately, we didn't have our best today, but a lot of that had to do with who we were playing. So I guess all credit goes out to Coach George. He's a good guy and a good friend of mine. Very proud. I mean, halfway through the season, we were on a 5-game losing streak, and things weren't looking great, and we kind of flipped that around and went on a bit of a run at the end and ended up beating St. John's last week, which was great, beating your rivals. But, yeah, obviously it's disappointing losing this way, but I couldn't be prouder of the senior class.
Kevin Peel and Nicole Weaving were on the call for us, and they join us now.
Well, the St. Francis de Sales Knights charged out of the gates when they beat their rival St. John's last week. Not quite the same today. Walsh Jesuit took control early, Nicole, and those ground ball pickups a big problem for St. Francis today.
It was obvious from the jump that the Warriors' physicality was going to make the Knights very uncomfortable and frustrated, whether that was on ground balls, in their ride, or just defensively as a whole. The Knights' offense didn't have the same jump and spark, especially like we saw against St. John's, and that's what turned, at one point, a 12-goal advantage into just a 10-goal advantage by the end.
Yeah, St. Francis, you look at how this season was going, Nicole. They had a big 4-game losing streak in the middle of it. One of those losses was to St. John's. They remembered that, and they were able to bounce back and get to this regional semifinal game. So to get to this point, get to 11 wins this year, I know Coach Loy was impressed with that, and these players can be proud of it as well.
St. Francis definitely played a challenging schedule, especially with CHSL foes in the conference that they play. So to make it to this point, and especially knowing that you took down your rival in the postseason and it ended their season, has to be a notch in their belt.
Yeah, especially St. John's, a 2 seed. Knights able to take them down, but these seniors will certainly be remembered. One of those, Eric Deischer, who made some big stops early.
He had quite the game, and it's unfortunate that the score doesn't reflect it, but from him through down to their face-off man, down to Parker Conlon, Luke Mossing, Ethan Cotterman, just these names that we've been mentioning for multiple years and the impact that they've had on this Knights program. They'll be sorely missed, but we saw Micah Twig as well as Liam Schultz have a great impact with a goal and an assist, and they are the future. So Coach Loy can certainly be happy with that.
Well, the Knights finish their season at 11-8. Walsh Jesuit moving on to the regional final as they will play on Thursday.
Tournament Time on BCSN is brought to you by Med1 Care Therapy Partners, #1 in quality service and quality care.